I want you to look at it this way, right? I want you to think about two gladiators. Two. I want you to think about two gladiators in an arena. And they're going to fight to the death. Right? That's as brutal as it gets. They each have a sword. They each have a shield. That was their weapon of choice. They head to the arena. There's a roaring crowd who wants to see blood. That's what they want to see. That's why they're there. Now, freeze right there. Because they both walk out. They're about to battle. They're about to fight to the death. But it's freeze right there. For a moment. What led to that? Not why they're gladiators. I'm talking about why did those gladiators choose a sword? Why? Well, why didn't they choose another weapon? Hypothetically, I'm just, saying, like, if they were given a weapon of choice, why did they pick that weapon? What is it about that weapon, What do they know about each other, right? Have they watched each other before? Let me create a hypothetical situation for you. One of these gladiators is over 300 pounds. He's a big guy. He's very powerful. He's strong. One thrust of that sword, he'll slice the other dude in half. Very powerful guy. But he's slow. He's slow. The other gladiator is about 170 pounds. He's very light. But he's fast. He's fast on his feet. And he's very skilled with that sword. Right? In fact, his sword is thinner because he wants to be able to pierce through the armor of the bigger guy. Now, just thinking of that scenario, right? Just having that in your head. There's two ways you can look at this, right? You can either be a bystander that just doesn't care, right? Let's say the gates open, they meet in the middle, they bow to the emperor, whatever, right? And then they say, all right, fight to the death. The crowd's going crazy. The crowd's going crazy. There's two ways to look at this. You can either be a member of the crowd like, come on, just fight. You could be that guy. You could, and you're entitled to, right? You paid a golden coin, whatever, to get in the Coliseum and to watch this, and you just want to see death. You don't care in what way, what manner. You don't give a fuck about these guys. Just fucking kill each other. Rah! Rah! Like you could just be that guy, right? Like you don't care. Like if they tell you, because the fight started already, right? Because you could be the other guy. You could be the guy saying, I wonder what's going to happen here. You could pay attention to strategy, right? So while the smaller guy is moving around in circles and circling the bigger guy and moving away and blank, blocking, with his shield of big swings of the bigger guy, right? Prank, again, blocking him. These shots move his ass. He rolls to the floor and rolls back up even. That's how powerful these swings are, right? But he's moving around. He's avoiding engagement right now. And you could either be the guy that goes, "Ooh, what the fuck you doing? Come on, fight!" Like you could be that guy, or you could be the guy that understands what's going on, right? Do you understand what's going on? Do you understand what you're watching? Do you understand the strategy? Because what's starting to happen? Those swings are getting a little slower. The smaller guy is swinging. Ta, 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 ta. He's swinging at parts of the armor that are not as powerful. Or not powerful, but don't have as much, cover. Bam! Slips a blade right through his arm. Boom! That was his swinging arm. Now he has to use his other arm. He's down to one arm. Right? He's breaking him down. He's breaking him down. The crowd seeing this, like, come on! I want to see somebody chopped in half. And eventually the other guy tires out, falls to his knees, and has no more energy. Bam! Just gets stabbed right in the heart. And down he goes. Psh, he's dead. And you could either be the guy that goes, no, he didn't fight. He was just moving around the whole time. Why did he trade swings with him? And you could be that guy, right? Or you could be the guy that says, all right, I get it. He had to do that. All right. If he would have done what all these idiots yelling at him and booing him would have done, if he would have done that, he would have been chopped in half. He would be dead right now. Right? Now, I just gave you this extreme example, right? Because this is the way I view boxing is just different to the way a lot of other boxing fans watch boxing. It's just a different way of watching it. I was watching Manny Pacquiao versus Bradley 3, right? I was watching that fight. I was watching it, and I saw a lot of people posting on social media. Oh, this fight sucks, and oh, it's so boring, and oh, like they're not doing anything, and nothing's happening in this fight, and that's what they were just complaining the whole time. I enjoyed the fight. I was paying attention to what was going on, to what Manny's trying to do, to what Bradley's trying to do. I was actually paying attention to the details on the fight. That's why I watch the sport. I like to see what's going on in a fight. I like to see the strategy. In fact, back to the example of the two gladiators, when they did training. Boxers do the same thing. They train, right? What do they? They don't train. This is not how training works. All right, I'm here. Trainer, I'm here. All right, get in the ring. Get in the ring. Okay, we got to find out how we're going to entertain these fans. That doesn't happen. Like that doesn't exist. That's dumb. Okay, that's just not the way it goes down. Right? It's just not. It's not. Fighters don't get in the ring, meet in the middle of the ring, and say, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's entertain these fans." Like that. That's not. That's just not the way it goes. Like I just sometimes I don't understand why some of you even watch the sport. Like I just don't. See, there's people that watch, pay attention, and when the knockout happens, they saw the setup most of the time. There's people that just sit, wait, and watch, and they just don't understand. I mean, fighters don't throw punches for 4 seconds. It's not because they're trying to set up a punch. To them, it's because these fighters are just trying to bore them and don't want to throw punches. I mean, this mentality just needs to go, man. Like, it's primitive. It's primitive mentality. And I'm very sorry to say this. I see it a lot with a lot of new boxing fans. I honestly do. Now, I understand there's nuance here. It doesn't mean that we can't, after the fight, say, that fight was kind of boring. It doesn't mean that. That's not what it means. Okay? I'm just saying the lens in which you watch the sport, or at least the way, I can only speak for myself, right? The lens I use when I watch the sport is very different to the lens others use. You know? So all I could give you, man, is my perspective, and also my boxing experiences. The way a lot of people remember, you know, Marco Antonio Barrera versus Eric Morales is very different to the way I remember it. And after the fight, yeah, it was an exciting fight. Of course it was, right? That goes without saying. But it was just a different way of viewing the fight, right? If I rewind time, okay, if I rewind time and I go back to the first Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera fight, I know a lot of people look back and they say this, oh, it was such a great fight. One of the best fights I've ever seen. These guys really entertained us. God bless them. That's how they view the fight. But these two guys were not trying to entertain you. They so happened to entertain you, but that's not what they were trying to do. Okay, they were trying to beat the shit out of the other guy. And the other guy was responding back in kind. Right? But here's the way I remember it. In all honesty, it was a very frustrating experience as a big fan of Eric Morales. Why? Because till this day, I believe Eric Morales was a superior fighter. And that was his opportunity to prove it. That was his opportunity to prove I am better than this guy. This guy doesn't give you all an exciting fight with me. I outbox the shit out of him. And probably knock him out in the later rounds. Maybe. That's kind of how I saw it. It was a lost opportunity by Eric Morales. So now, when we're talking all-time Mexican fighters, and I try and place Morales over Barrera, what do they say? Oh, no, Barrera got the best of them. Barrera this, Barrera that. And there's little I can say because Morales fought a stupid fight. I couldn't say it till I lose my voice. Morales fought a stupid fight. Barrera was in his head, and he was, right, and made him fight his fight. And that's what happened. That's in my heart. That's what I believe happened. So to me, watching it was a very frustrating fight to watch. It doesn't mean the emotions were high. Boxing's all about emotions. My emotions were high. That's boxing is about building emotions. That's what it's about. And it did build it. Definitely, it blood boiled on me. But that's how I remember it. So people can. And not only that, I think that fight contributed to the later shortcomings that Morales later ran into. I mean, he was never the same fighter ever again. So, in my opinion anyway, that's it. That's basically the way I see it, man. And like I said, the lens that I watch boxing in is just different. It's a different way of, people use that lens when it's convenient to them. They really do. And you kind of notice that when they'll praise one fighter for certain things, but they won't do it to the other fighter. But overall, man, this is one of the reasons I won't even watch boxing with a lot of casual fans. It's just a frustrating thing, So anyway, no fighter thinks to themselves, you know what? I just feel like boring the shit out of people today. I'm gonna fight that. I'm gonna be boring right now. That's what I'm gonna do. That doesn't exist, right? It just doesn't exist. That mentality doesn't exist, right? I mean, what does exist or has for over a century now is playing to the crowd, right? But this is boxing based. This is not boxing, but not the technical side of it, but just kind of as the sport. It was always a common knowledge, like the brawler always wanted to entice, and feel the boxer, pressured to fight their fight because it benefited them. And there is in fact an art in luring them into that by using the crowd. There's an art to that, right? But that no longer is an art like it used to be, because now fans don't think that way. It's just different. So it honestly is what it is, man. It honestly it is. Well, that's it. DStyleBoxing. Keep it boxing. All right. I'll just leave it at this, man. I could totally see like old commentators, worldwide, the worldwide, sports, whatever they called it. I forgot the name, right? Worldwide world of sports, just calling fights and, just, I could specifically remember, right, commentators saying things, like, he's trying to lure him into a fight. He's trying to make him fight his fight. Yada, yada, yada. He's trying to turn it to a, back alley brawl. That was always a term that was used. Okay? Turn it into a back alley brawl. Because that's what the fans are. He's using the fans here. He's trying to blame him for the lack of action in this fight. And it created dynamics there, but. And when a fighter didn't fall for that, they called them smart. Because it is smart, right? But anyway, peace out.